Alrighty, hello YouTube. Uh, Welcome to my channel, Aiden Nell. Uh, this is a bit of a new thing for me because I've never really done this before. So, in this video, I'm going to showcase. Okay, so in this series, I'm gonna be showing you guys how to make an idle RPG game. And this video in particular is going to showcase how I set up my project and all that fun stuff. It includes planning, uh, getting the project set up, and getting the layouts and everything set up. So the first thing you would want to do is, if you don't have Unity Hub, you're going to want to download it. And for that, you would need a account. And it's free to make an account with Unity. Yeah, it should be free to make an account. So when you get that downloaded, it's gonna take a while. Okay, I have to figure out what's going on with that one. Uh, you see this screen, which is your current project screen, and if you're new to using Unity, it should be empty. Uh, so what you want to do is click on the new project. And right now I'm using a universal 2D because it's not going to be a 3D game. It's going to be 2D. You're going to want to put in your organization, your project name. You can name it whatever you want. I named it SwordRunner version 1. That's the one I did. Put it back to my project. You can name it idle game. You can do first project. You can say my project like it has right here. You can do whatever you want. And then you want to figure out where you want to put it. I put it on my desktop. Even though it's not on my desktop. That's fun. And then you want to hit create project. It's going to take a while for it to load. Yeah, it's going to take a while for it to load. But when it does load, it's going to pop up something like this. This box right in here is your scene. You can move around, you can move objects, you can rotate. What's this again? Scale, rect, transform. This is where you're going to basically figure out where everything's gonna go. And it's gonna be UI. Down here is the game view. I put it on play focused since then it's not a new tab. And what I like to do is look at my console and stuff like that, which is right here. I put it right there. It's going to look different from mine when you first load the Unity. Sorry, my brain keeps shutting down. But it'll look different. And what you can do, you know what, I'm gonna get rid of this animator thing Gonna close that because I've never used it before. I may use it later. But yeah, I've never used it before. So I'm just gonna have the scene view right here, the game view down here. I like to put my project view right here, and it will usually show you, it will usually allow you to change how big these are. But yeah, comes it comes with packages. So that's a really cool thing that you do not have to worry about. It comes with all sorts of things. Right here is your hierarchy, and I'm gonna make something. I'm gonna make an empty game object, and I'll explain more about game objects later. You know what? I'm gonna actually delete this and make a canvas home screen. As you can see, it's huge. So this canvas is where all of our UI is gonna go in. It's literally a canvas. Okay, so are you moving? Oh yeah. So this is where everything's gonna go. And what I really wanted to show you is this. So in the hierarchy, you have different objects that you can click on, and over here in the inspector, it will tell you about the different properties. Like for the main camera, you have a camera property. You can change it quite a bit. Rendering, audio listener, all sorts of fun stuff. There's the light source, the canvas that I just created, but I'm naming home screen. And you want to have the render mode set to screen space overlay. You don't want it for the camera or world space. You want it for the overlay. I can't remember exactly why this is a good thing to have, but it, from what I've heard, is it gives less issues when you put it on overlay. I'm not gonna change anything else. And then this event system is something that comes with this canvas. Do not get rid of it. You will need it. Basically, so we're gonna have buttons in here, and it's going to allow you to click on those buttons, point and click, and all sorts of stuff. And yeah, this is very necessary. So yeah. Down here is the project, which is where all your assets and your packages and your scripts and all that fun stuff are gonna go. And I've already made a new folder called scripts. I'm just gonna delete that real quick so I can show you how you can do it. You can do it in two ways. You can either right click, go to create folder, or you can click on this plus and it's going to say create new asset, and you could go to folder right there. Gonna name it script, and ta-da, that's where I'm going to put all my scripts. I'm going to keep that. And one of the things we need to do is not long after setting this up, we want to go to the edit tab, go to preferences. Okay, so right now I'm in colors. One of the first things you're gonna want to look for is under general, this play mode tint. You want to put it at a light color near light gray or white. And I'm going to show you in just a moment why you need to put it at that kind of color and what that means. But this is a very important thing that you need to change. Now, there's general. Okay. I have to remember where it is. Visual scripting. No, it's not visual scripting. Diagnostics. Yeah, no, that's not where we want to be. Where did it go? Asset pipeline. Jobs. What? Hold on. I gotta find it again. Editor diagnostics. External. Okay, you want to go to external tools. And right here, where it says external script editor, you need to set it at whichever one you want. I prefer Visual Studio Code. It works better for me. Though you can also use Visual Studio 2022 or whatever sorry, I'm trying to figure out the word version that you have. Yeah, you can use either or. I just prefer to use Visual Studio Code. I feel like it works better for me in my computer. You can choose whichever one you want, and that's going to be the default script editor, which is gonna be right here. I have both. I have Visual Studio Code and Visual Studio Installer. But two different things. But yeah. Okay, so I'm going to show you guys what I meant by play mode tint. So to enter into game mode, you're going to hit this play button. And I'll explain it in just a second when it comes up. There we go. It can take a few minutes for it to load. It depends on how fast your computer is, how good your computer is with loading things. Mine takes a couple minutes longer if it's mad at me. Okay, so you see how everything is this very light blue. You can still see things. You can still click on things. Anything that you change in this mode does not save. This is your play mode. You're playing, and you can change anything you want, and it's going to change how the game is played. However, when you exit into editor mode, which is normal, it's going to go back to what it originally was. Uh, That's why we set a play mode tint, just so we know when we're in play mode and when we are in editor mode. And if you make a change, if it's a major one, write it down. Write down exactly what you're changing, why you're changing it, and so whenever you go back into editor mode, you could just, I don't know, change it in the editor mode. Okay, so I'm tired of this dark blue. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna hover over this home screen canvas that I created. And I'm going to go down to the UI canvas and add an image. Okay, so that's cool. That's cool. Well, I need to make it bigger. I'm gonna make it bigger. I'm gonna stretch it to the entire canvas. I'm sure there's shortcuts that allow you to do this easier. However, I don't know those shortcuts. So, yeah. Well, okay. Now I'm gonna left click on this image. Now, what you can also do is just go right here and change it. Change that to background. Don't forget to hit enter, or else it's not gonna save. But you can also left click and go to rename right here. So background. Now I'm gonna go to the color. I like this turquoisey blue. Oh, that's nice. So that's gonna be the background for the game. And to save, you either go to File and hit Save, or Control S, or Command S if you're on a different computer. I'm on Windows. You might be on a Mac. Okay, so I think that is a good starting point. I'll show you guys Visual Studio Code and stuff in a later video, but I think that's a great spot to end on. If you have any questions, please type them out. I know I'm not the greatest at explaining things, and this is going to be less of a tutorial series and more along the lines of build this with me. That's gonna be the vibe. Um, I'm not the greatest at explaining things, and oh, what I do want to do is go ahead and do this. You see this box right here? That's your anchor. You want to put it into stretch. So now when you resize this, it stays the same. So that's really nice. Uh, you don't do that with everything. You don't stretch everything, but it's good for like. Okay. Okay. And you see where this circle is? I believe that is where your pivot point is. Just right here. I don't really know how to change that. Hold on. Okay, I'm gonna hit Control Z. There we go. Back. But you can change your pivot point, and it will change how you rotate things, but I'm not entirely sure how to do that, so I'm not gonna worry about it. So yeah, I think that's good. One of the things you're gonna know about me is I save constantly. I will not save. Every time I change something, I save. So yeah, I think that's a great. Oh yeah, I almost forgot the planning. So I already wrote this because I tried doing this video before, and I decided, hey, I really don't want to have to type this all up again. But yeah, this is going to be SwordRunner planning. The end game goals is I'm gonna have a working combat system, merging swords, equipment, which is gonna include systems like ranks, passive boosts, equipped boosts, and summoning. We're gonna have prestige. We're gonna have multiple currencies, teams, and synergy, where you can equip up to 3 heroes, each with their own skills and weapons. Equipping systems, as you can see with the heroes and the equipment. Difficulty and prestige levels. That's gonna be something that I'm gonna look forward to. Prestige unlocking stage progression. Basically, each time a player prestiges, the stage cap increases. That's the basic idea behind this idea. Stats and skills, offline progression, the save and load system, dungeons. Right now, I only have 2 dungeon ideas: a gear dungeons and currency dungeons. That honestly might be all that I need. Side game. A lot of these idle games have mining for resources, where you can use those resources to have more boosts. Daily, weekly, and monthly rewards, and then finally crest achievements and milestones. Now, I've highlighted what we're gonna work on first, which is Season 1 Prototype, the foundation. The goal here is make a working auto game loop. We're gonna set up our currency. Mine is gonna be gold. I wrote this little note right here: main currency used to buy upgrades and items. Clicking, upgrades, production and generation, save and load, basic UI, and this fancy little thing called Break Infinity. I will talk a little bit more about this fancy little thing when we get to that video. But we're not worrying about multiple currencies. We're not gonna worry about the swords or the equipment. We just want to make a working idle game loop. And these things will get us there. So, and I'll be making different series based off of these seasons. I think. No, I think I can have it in one series and then just say Season 1 and the name of the video. But yeah, it's gonna be up to 7 seasons. Hopefully, we may change that later, but yeah. All right. Yeah. When I am planning a game, I like to think of what all I want to do, what genre is gonna be, uh, the template that I'm gonna be using. In this case is going to be 2D. Now, I am not really doing this for a mobile game. I'm doing this for more of a computer game, since I really don't know how mobile games work. I may eventually transform this from a computer game to a mobile game, which that would be fantastic to learn how to do. But yeah, I'm just gonna keep it simple, keep it as a computer game, PC game, whatever it's called. But yeah, I think I've covered just about everything. So when you, I might get questions about this. So whenever you want to download Unity, you should just be able to type in Unity download, and it should be this first link right here. Like I said, you're gonna need later. You're gonna need a account with them in order to install it. And whenever you do install it, you're gonna want to create a license. I have a personal one which is free to make, you will have to reactivate it every so often, especially if Unity does not like you. But yeah, I'm gonna have to figure that out. Might have accidentally got rid of it. Okay, yeah. I probably got rid of it on accident. But yeah, in the hub, you see these different tabs: get set up, installs, which is all the different versions that you have installed of Unity. As you can see, these are no longer good. There's a learn tab where you can where Unity made these various courses. I would suggest, um, I would definitely recommend trying these out. It's such good content. Then there's resources. I haven't really looked too heavily into these resources. I do like to go to the Unity Asset Store because there's a lot of great stuff in there that you can use for your projects. Uh, but yeah, there's a lot of different what what's it called? Community. There's skill building. There's discussions. Unity AI. Like I said, the Unity Asset Store, on-demand training, which again, like this Unity Elevate, is skill training. Unity blog, where you can read the latest features, announcements, creator achievements, tips and tricks, and so much more. And then Unity Pulse, which is uh, a way for you to provide feedback. Settings, I never really go into settings, but yeah. I believe it's everything that I can think of that I should cover. Oh, got rid of it. You know what? It doesn't matter. I do have GitHub. I will not be talking about GitHub. Apparently, you can use it for version control, but I haven't quite figured out how to utilize it. So I'm not going to utilize it. If you know how to do it, feel free to set it up whenever you set up your project. The earlier you do it, the better, basically. But I haven't quite figured out how to do that, so I'm not gonna do that. But yeah, I think that's everything I needed to talk about. Thank you for watching this video. I apologize if it was rambly or all over the place, and I hope you learned something new. Well, until next time.